Oftentimes I have people ask me, why is the world such a mess? As I mentioned in my previous video, if you haven't had a chance to take a look at it, go and check it out. I talk about these 4 problem or challenge areas in life. It's worth repeating: health, love, money, and personal power. If you have any problem in one of those areas, which most people in the world will have a problem in at least one of those areas, life can be very difficult or unpleasant. If 2 or 3 of those start going wrong, things become extraordinarily painful. If all 4 go wrong, well, you might be thinking about making a premature exit from the planet. I'm here to help you to end that cycle of suffering around these areas of health, love, money, and power. So where does all this come from? Why are there all these problems? One of the things we're taught in the West is that the soul is clean and pure. It's like little cherubs floating around in heaven, waiting, looking for a body to choose to be born into. The East has a different idea, and it's one I believe in, and I think you'll find it really fills in and gives us an understanding of what the heck is going on here, that the world is such a mess. There is something called imprints. I call them imprints. In the East, it's called karma. Unfortunately, with the word karma, there's so much emotional baggage around karma now, this word in the West. And it's such a highly charged word. I like to use imprints instead. Karma is a law of action. So if you've done something bad to someone, that's going to be imprinted on your soul, and a similar or maybe even more powerfully negative thing is going to happen to you. We have this idea in the West. It's not a uniquely Eastern idea. In science, Western science, we have this idea about the law of causality. If something happens, it causes a reaction somewhere else. Probably the person who put it best was Sir Isaac Newton. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. In the East, the idea is that on the soul level, there are these imprints, these negative karmic imprints, and that we bring them into this life to work them out. And that of all the plane levels of existence, except for the hell plane, the earth plane is one of the most difficult plane levels of existence. But it is the place that people come to get rid of their imprints once and for all. This is why there's so much junk and stuff happening in the world. People are playing out these imprints to exhaust their energy. Now, the energy from the imprints will exhaust themselves naturally. Now, what we want to do is to push forward to learn the lesson of the imprint that's on the soul that we brought into this lifetime, and then to get rid of that negative energy so we don't have to go through the pain and the suffering to learn the lesson. The lineage I come from is all about getting rid of these imprints. And this is what I'm here to do, is to help people and give them the techniques so that we can have the lesson and not go through all the pain and the agony. Or if it's something that was going to be a 10-year agonizing process, maybe we can get through it in 2 or 3 days, or a week, or an hour, or maybe even a minute, and get that lesson that's going to make life easier. The lineage I come from teaches that 95% of who we are and the imprints on the soul, that 95% of them are negative. It's worth repeating, because I remember the first time I heard it was just so absolutely mind-blowing. 95% of the imprints are negative. Well, so much for free will and so much for rational thought, because people are coming from a place of very powerful negativity. And here's the cycle. This is the cycle everyone's been caught in since the fall from grace. Negative thoughts lead to negative emotions, which lead to negative actions, which lead to more negative thoughts and more negative emotions and more negative actions, and then you're caught in the trap. And this is the trap that humanity is caught in. I've found a way out, and I want to help you to discover how to get out of this process of negative thoughts that lead to negative emotions, that lead to negative actions, because it ends up being a hell on earth for most people. What we want to experience is heaven on earth. heaven on earth is going to make life a lot easier. One of the techniques I've come up with to help you do this is called the conscious breathing technique. And you'll see that on my YouTube channel. Try and do that 2 or 3 times a day. We want to bring the light to the darkness of this world. And we want to be shining a light from inside out to the world. Now, some people might not like it. And doing this process, you might lose some friends, and some family members might think you've turned weird. Well, that's just the way it is. You have to be standing in your truth, standing in your light, to be connected with heaven and to be connected with the heavenly energies and the divine energies. It's just going to make life so much easier. You'll be wondering what you waited for. Why did I wait so long to do this? Well, here's the opportunity to do it, and the time to do it is now.